Hey everyone, welcome back to John's Watch. Today I'm taking a look at a new game called Dungeons Degenerate Gamblers. This game was released on Steam on August 8th, 2024. Its regular price is 19.49 Canadian or regional equivalent, and it's developed by Purple Moss Collectors and published by Yogscast Games. This is a blackjack roguelike adventure. Battle your way through a seedy tavern filled with gambling-addicted townspeople. From aces and face cards to tarot cards, business cards, and more, create your unique deck to beat the house. So this is very similar to Balatro, but instead of playing poker hands, you're playing blackjack. You're trying to use your combination of cards in your deck to make a score of 21 and beat your opponents. As it hinted at in the description, there's the usual cards. If we look at the screen right now, you can see this is my collection of cards. You know, you've got ace to king for all the suits. But then you can see there's some weird things like, oh look, there's a 12 of spades. That's not a real card. There's a half of diamonds, also not a real card. But then, very like Balatro, you do get into quite strange cards. There's negative cards here. There's tarot cards. But here's all of these. And then you start getting into really weird cards like the Charred Lizard, which I was so excited to see. Speaking of Balatro, literally Jimbo from Balatro is right there. And I don't know, I just love this presentation. You've got this card binder with the sleeves, and like they even slide back down into the sleeves. I think it's really cool. But yeah, there's a lot of really weird cards, very, very similar to Balatro in that way. You've actually got the option to customize your picture here. I don't see an option to like change your hair color, but this is the one I've gone for. I think I look pretty something. I feel like the border could almost be blank. Maybe we'll go for like a blue. I kind of like that. How does that look? Pretty good. So I think what I'm going to do in this video, instead of front-loading the video with explanation of how the game works, I'm going to play around so you can see it kind of in action, and then I'll explain what happened afterwards. So choose my starting deck. I've got 4 of 18 unlocked. Basically, when you start with just the hearts deck unlocked. You can see hearts heal you. Literally, as soon as you start that up and you finish that run, even if you die right away, you unlock the next 3. And then you can see in order to unlock the nothings deck, just got to win a run with any deck. This one I got to win a run with the nothings deck. It sounds like there's going to be plenty more decks afterwards that I just can't see right now. Each card or each suit does something different, so hearts heal you. We'll get into that. Clubs deal extra damage. Spades give you shield. You can see hearts, like health here. Shield will be there. And diamonds give you chips. These are my chips here. So far, I've only played an hour and a half, but I've found the hearts deck just so much better than any of the other ones. So I'm going to go with hearts again here. Your starting deck is just ace to king. Hearts heal you. It's a little bit unclear, but they only heal you when you get the max possible score. So in blackjack, if you get a score of 21, that's blackjack. That's typically the max score. It changes sometimes in this game. So that's the only way we'll heal. So we approach the old tavern, let's enter. And then bam, we're right into a game. So like I said, I'm just going to play this one. And I'm not going to explain it too much. And then in the next one, I'll actually explain what's happening. So you can just get a feel for kind of the way the game plays. This is embarrassing. This is usually quite a fast encounter. That should be us done. There we go. So excellent. As the bartender says, this is such a gimme fight. I shouldn't even have taken damage, but luckily I healed, because like I said, we had hearts, so when we got the max score of blackjack, we healed. Whenever you beat an encounter, you get a card. You get a choice of 3 cards. They don't have to be special ones. They can just be regular playing cards. And you also get a hidden one, where you can pay 21 chips. These are my chips up here, to reveal a random special card. I don't have a ton of chips yet. I usually end up with quite a lot later in the game, so I won't do this yet. Rorschach card on stand. Your foe stands. That's quite useful. Back credit card. Steal 10 chips from your foe. It's not bad. Diamond in the rough. This is really good if you're playing a diamonds deck, because it talks about shields. This deck I'm playing isn't going to have any shields, so I'm going to go for the Rorschach one. And, okay, the bartender is now giving us our unique chip, which will go over here. And basically the unique chip gives us the opportunity to get advantage in the games. And this is the counter here, which I'll explain a little bit. Chip and a chair. Start with 1 advantage. On spending advantage, if below 30 HP, gain 1 advantage. Not going to happen because hearts heal me, so that's not going to be useful. Chip off the old block. Start with -1 advantage. Randomly selects the effect of 2 unique chips at the start of each encounter. That sounds quite interesting and very random. So basically, I think I'm always going to start at -1, but I'm going to get like 2 random of these. I'm going to take this. Let's see what happens. Okay, so pick our poison. We fight the bard with 21 health, and our reward is 49 chips. We fight the drunk with 21 health. Reward is 50 chips. I'll just do this one. Okay, so there we go. So we've gone down. This went down to -1, but it instantly got brought back up with blue chip. So basically, right now, if we win a round, we'll gain an advantage, and this one is when I take damage, I gain advantage. Advantage is used to play cards from your hand down here, which sometimes happens, is not going to happen very much at the start of the game, because I don't really have any special cards that add cards to my hand. Or it's also used to exploit cards. I have not had to exploit cards very much, and again, I don't have any special cards right now that will let me do that. No, nothing. So advantage is literally useless to me right now. So this is my score. This is my opponent's score. It's blackjack. The objective is to hit and try and bring your score up to 21. And you can see here it says damage is equal to score difference. So the drunk will stand on 13. Basically, as soon as he reaches 13 or above, he'll just stand. He won't turn over any more cards. So pretty much for this round, I just have to get this above 13. As long as it's above his, and I'll like almost always win. There we go, we're at 16. He's just bust because he's gone over 21. Bust equals 0. So if we stand, watch up here, he drops down to 0. We did 16 damage to him. He's now down to 5 health. So I just have to do 5 more health to beat him, which should be quite easy. So he's just played the rules card, which basically, when you play it, you choose whether your opponent has to get 20 or 22 instead of 21 for the for the encounter. So that's why I said, 21 is normally the max you can do in blackjack, but sometimes it's not. So that's actually really helped me. 19 out of 20. Like the only card I could draw would be an ace. I don't even have an ace in my deck. So something very nice is you can actually see what cards are left. Not the order they're going to come out, but you can have a look. If I was at like 15 or something, and I want to look and see like what are the chances I'm going to draw something over 6 or something below 6. It's very useful for figuring out the odds. There we go, drunk, done. You lost already, you silly drunk. These are, that's kind of helpful. I mean, mostly just hearts are useful for me, but I don't know if we want to add a 7 to our deck. We've got 100 chips. Let's check this one out. Charizard! I'm taking it. It's so cool not to take. Okay, so now we choose Counterfeiter. Counterfeiter's quite good. Basically, it lets you increase or decrease the value of a card. So like I could turn a king into another ace. But it's kind of costly. So let's Stay a Knight. Stay a Knight is usually used just for healing. I don't need to heal, so I'm just going to do this one. We're just going to pass the event because we didn't need anything there. We can have a drink. I think that's mostly used for healing. But let's fight the gambler. We can get another card. So we're at -1 now. We got the fish and chips. On blackjack, gain 1 advantage for each of your played cards. Also chip damage. We just don't have to worry about advantage right now. It'll be important later. So he's at 19, I'm at 17. I can only draw these 4 cards to put me up to 21, and everything else would make me bust. So there's no point in drawing. I'd rather lose 2 health from him doing 2 damage here, which he'll do now, than lose 19 from having, 0 points there. So you can definitely kind of strategize this, especially if you pay attention to where they're going to stand. He's always going to stand on 17. You can even look at what cards he's got left. So there you go. He's just bust. I think I'm probably pretty safe to hit here. Perfect. He's got 1 health left. This should be pretty quick. So yeah, the Rorschach card, when I stand, my foe stands. That's useful if you're ahead. Like if I was at 19 or whatever, I could stand right now and he would be forced to stand on 15. Didn't happen. It's probably going to be useless this time because I'm very behind him. 20. Yeah, I'm not going to pull the ace there, I don't think. So we're going to take the 1 damage again. Not a really big deal. So he's stood. 50-50 chance we could get 1 more and kill him. But if we don't get 1 more, we'd lose 19 health. It's just not really worth it. So we'll tie, and we'll wait for this round. He's going to draw 5, and then he's going to shuffle these back in, so we don't really know what he's going to play. He did 18. We could probably tie to 18. Let's do that. Fine. We would like to see an ace. We don't want to see a 4. He's dead. Done. We did it. Let's have a look here. So we got a credit card. On this card's playing -11 of diamonds. It's okay. You can see this has the handy effect, which moves it to the hand down here. We just haven't seen anything do that yet. Vaccination card. 3 hearts. On taking damage, gain 5 shield. It's not bad. It's a heart. Let's flip this, because it's not too much. Expulsion. Deal and take 2 times more damage. I think I'm going to go for the COVID-19 vaccination card. There's so many random cards in here. You think like Balatro had come up with all the random cards, but there's so many great random cards in here. We don't really need to heal too much. Let's just face the bard now. We'll try and get another card. What is this one? Chipmunk. Start an encounter, gain 3 advantage. Advantage persists between encounters. That's quite helpful. Normally this resets after like facing this bard. It would go back to 0 or -1, I guess. Okay, 10's good. 19's good. He'll stand on 17. He can draw this this Gerald from Riviera one. Lots of very funny references in this. I think standing on 19 is pretty safe. Yeah, there we go. Now we just need to get him to bust. Not good. We're drawing it way too early. 16. So because he stands on 17, he's either going to beat us or he's going to bust trying to beat us. Let's see what we can make him do. Well, I don't know why he stood there. He wasn't supposed to do that. So my Charizard, when I draw it, I can either keep it in play or I can sell it. Basically, because it gives you 10 points. If it makes me go over, I sell it. If it doesn't, I just keep it. So I'm just going to stand here. That's very lucky. He actually burned one of my cards, so I went back down to 10 points, but he still bust. So that was okay. 13, 18. We got 21. Yeah, we're just gonna... As again, it's a 50% chance I could match him at the best. Let's not worry about it. Oh, he played a bunch of hearts, so he actually healed up. Annoying. 13. 15. 2 out of 3. Let's do it. Fuck! Oh, that sucks. I was playing quite safely, but now look at me. But you don't have to play too safely with hearts, luckily. I gotta go for it. Sell that. Do I go for it again? No. Yeah, you don't have to play too safely with hearts, especially if you start adding like more aces and more face cards to your deck later. Stand there. Nice. You can actually manage to heal up decently well. Remember, I have to get 21 to heal up. Oh. That was stupid. That was very unfortunate. Again, I just keep drawing it so early. Oh jeez, it's really falling apart now. I've lost more than half my health in this one. 13. Oh my god. So unlucky. 20. He's got 1 health left. I'd like to heal off him. Again. The last game I played, I had a card that would copy cards that were played. And I would just consistently play it first every single time. I'm gonna die on this encounter. We've killed him, but I'm almost dead. What a disaster. What a disaster. I think 10 of hearts is very useful. Just 10 and 11 are the best number values to get. Janitor or poker player. Poker player is a little bit harder because they've got more chips. Let's see what we can do here. 10? Oh, they got 21. Because they're a poker player. They have a lot of, like, cards to give them aces. What are they going to pull? They are going to bust. Yeah. Because they only had cards left. That's what I mean. Like, so they had 16. They have to stand on 17. So they're not going to stand below 17. I looked at what cards they had left. Every card they would draw would make them go over 21, so they had to bust. So that was a safe one. 2. Not what you want to see. Okay. And they've bust again. We've got a decent chance of drawing something with 5. I swear to God. Oh. Bullshit. 5. Oh, I lose. What a dreadful run, my god. Okay, well, luckily I got footage of a very good run that I'll put up now. What you were seeing at the start here was just the very first level. I think in order to win a run of this game, you have to successfully get through... I'm trying to think off the top of my head without seeing the footage. I think it's 5 or 6 levels or blackjack tables kind of thing. So basically at the end of the first table, you have to face the bouncer, who's the boss of the first level. If you beat him, you then get to go on to the second level. You actually choose one of 2 levels to do as the second one, and then after that you've got you don't get to choose afterwards. You just go through the levels. And so the table changes and the background music changes depending on the level. The background music sometimes changes depending on the opponent you're facing. There's special sound effects depending on the opponent you're facing. I think it's like the gambler, as you're playing, you can hear the sounds of like chips clinking. I can't think of any more off the top of my head, but there's a lot of very small details like that which are very, very good. And so I'm really enjoying this. I'm still not finished Balatro, so I don't see myself playing this a ton more right now. Because, I do think Balatro's a better game. Balatro's an excellent game. But if you have finished up with Balatro and you're kind of itching for more of that card game-based roguelike gameplay, I would definitely check this one out. I think it's very fun. It's decently easy to get into, especially if you've played a bit of Balatro. You kind of understand, it's a different game. Some of the systems are like kind of comparable, so like if you do have that experience with these sorts of games, I think it's pretty easy to get into. At the time of recording, the developers did actually post a little update on the Steam forums, saying that there's a couple of areas that they'd like to improve in the game, mostly just balancing stuff. They said that they hear feedback that a few of the early encounters can be rather punishing. It's causing some fights that should be straightforward to swing in the favor of the opponent. I haven't totally found that myself yet, but there have been a couple of encounters that have dragged on way longer than I was expecting. So that's great that they, they're willing to improve some of the balancing. They said they also want to give players earlier access to more impactful cards that will allow for better deck manipulation. That sounds great. Something that kind of bugs me with Balatro is when you finish up a really great exciting run and then start a new run. It just feels so tame by comparison to just have all the basic cards. So I think that's great if they give you the opportunity to get some more exciting cards near the start of the game. And they also said we'll be making adjustments to a few problematic encounters that appear later in the game, as well as just the earlier encounters. Some of the encounters were resulting in the opponent building up too many shields, and other issues which were turning some fights into much longer encounters than anticipated. And they say our balance changes will make a big difference here. So that all sounds great, honestly. Like I said, there have been a couple of encounters where they've just dragged on forever. There was one where my opponent was literally a rat. It was a giant rat, but still just a rat. And it just took forever, because they just kept healing up, and I just wasn't doing much damage to them. So yeah, that's great. This has only been out for, at the time of recording, literally like 4 days. And it's already super playable. They're aware of some balancing issues that need to be changed, and they're going to work on them. Yeah, I think this is a pretty easy recommendation if you like Balatro, especially if you finished Balatro, and you want to try a similar game, but not more Balatro. There you go, that was a look at Dungeons and Degenerate Gamblers. Thank you guys very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!